Frostbreath is not a bow specialist, and Kinako definitely is. So Frostbreath would like it, probably, if he could get into melee range and solve this with some melee. But I think Kinako will definitely try to make sure this is a bow fight, because that's the turn where he'll have the advantage. Kinako will definitely chase if Frostbreath decides to run, which appears to be somewhat the case. Or not. He's trying to find an angle that he can have an advantage with. And there you go, he lands a shot right there. But Kinako is not a fool. He's gonna take the... He doesn't want to give the high ground, Anakin. And he's landing the shots. Landing the shots, and Frostbreath healing up. Is he still has 5 gapples, though. He really caved for an entire stack of gold. So Kinako has less healing, because he was probably in the swamp trying to finish obtaining all the apples he needed. And that's probably where the fight began. So Kinako's got some gold. He's got less healing. So if Frostbreath is able to land a sufficiently high amount of shots, he might out-heal Kinako, but I'm not sure if that's going to be the case. Because really, in terms of a bow fight, the advantage truly is on the Kinako camp for Germany. But actually, Frostbreath is not doing so bad. And Kinako decided to melee, and yeah, that actually turned... that did not go in Frostbreath's favor, the melee. It did not. It was actually fairly even-handed, the melee, but Kinako sensed the weakness. He knew he was getting a little bit too low in healing there, and so yeah, he had to make the move and be a little more aggressive on that one. And there goes the Netherlands. The Netherlands are out. In 2017 will go out as the victim of Germany this year. And Ripper Steve, as I did predict, finally found the diamonds. There you go. You could kind of tell it was coming from the direction he was heading in. And Kinako will now... oh, wait, hold on. That's not expected. Here's Tiago playing Spoil Sports. And now suddenly Tiago actually has a great opportunity to really take Germany out, because Kinako won't have as much healing. So yeah, Kinako's out of here. I do believe he has gapples on himself, right? He still has gapples. Yeah, he still has 2 gapples, but he's going to focus on running first. Because Tiago has so many gapples and G-heads that you do want to focus on running. You want to focus on running. I'm not sure Kinako is necessarily the best escape artist in the World Cup. He's not like known for running to begin with. But I don't think he's going to be able to out-melee Tiago here. Nope, yeah, it didn't happen. And there we have it, Tiago Pelargo for Portugal with yet another kill, starting to run away with this thing. He started out as the number 6 in terms of stats, of course, for kill-death ratio, and is really improving on that score today. There's no doubt about that. Basically, the lineup is getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and the amount of people who can out-heal Tiago at this point is basically nobody. I think Tiago, his downfall can only come from someone out-meleeing him at this point. And that's really the way that it could happen. He's got a sharp 3 diamond sword and a sharpness 4 iron sword. So getting out-meleeed is not likely. He's got the diamonds he needs to make a diamond chestplate and basically be in full diamond from here on out. So really, the top threat, literally now, definitely Pelargo, who is he's definitely in a very, very comfortable position. It's going to be very, very difficult to take him out. There might be some teaming that might need to be done in order to achieve that. So Shadun is in this cave trying to well, he's got the enchants, he got a little bit of armor. Now every time I do /near, there's going to be fewer and fewer people, but Walrus Time is actually in the area. Probably not so close. I don't know if Walrus Time is still chasing Fancy, or hoping to find him. Yeah, he's still on the surface, hoping to find people. Amazingly, still unenchanted, really has no desire to cave, no desire to go find healing in caving, which typically even the brazen hunters would do. And I think that might be a little mistake in strategy. It would not hurt him to just cave for one episode and get some healing. But SpeeDo has found the Diamond Man, and he's going to be trying his best to deal with the threat. But SpeeDo, I don't think. Has only 3 gapples, and he has to imagine, he has to know that Pelargo has a lot of healing. And Pelargo's no slouch on the bow himself, so SpeeDo can't necessarily use a big advantage. He really doesn't have that big of an advantage. What he needs is to hide behind the tree and heal. There you go. That's what he needs. It looks like SpeeDo is going to be taken out right here. Just a pure bullfight against someone in full diamond. It's not going to work out. And it did not. He dies, giving Tiago even more healing. So, like, Tiago, in addition to taking out one of the biggest PvP threats of the World Cup, now, his 5th kill so far, he, really in terms of the big stats, Shadun is the man to watch. Shadun has some strength potions, so if he is able to cave and perhaps find more good stuff, Shadun maybe has a chance. If it goes to melee, anytime it's going to be a bow battle, even if Tiago is outshot, he's got so much healing. Look, 13 gapples, 1 G head, and it's only more to come. He's got ender pearls, everything. So obviously, if you do a bow fight, it's going to go the way of Portugal, almost inevitably, just because of the amount of healing. The only way truly to take him out, potentially the most credible way, is actually sort of 2 players sandwiching him, or you know, a backstab, that kind of deal. Perhaps a trap. You never know, but because I will say, the desert like this is just a great place to build a trap. But it's quite a bit an investment, and here he comes. That's not Pelargo though. That's a Super Gamer Plays, and he might. This is an interesting, potentially interesting confrontation here. Daffz has the diamond pants that Super Gamer Plays is looking for. Whoever wins actually is going to end up with full diamond. And there, with the surprise ender pearl, and suddenly the tide has turned. And that might have been one of the most the cleverest uses of an ender pearl to completely change the momentum. And well, he tried with the ender pearl. The ender pearl actually got the underneath of this tree, and that caused him to fall to his death. I don't think that's going to give Daffz a kill, because that was an escape fail. But there you go. If Daffz is alone in this area, and he is, He now has full diamond as well. Does he have enough healing though? He's only has one gapple, and with the gold ingots he's going to be able to make a G head with Super Gamer Plays' head. But from there, Daffz will have to use... He'll have to find another Ender Pearl, basically, if he wants to kill Pelargo. It has to be Ender Pearl and melee, because the bow is not going to work with the amount of healing Pelargo has. But Daffz might have a chance if he hunts some Enderman during the night, I would say. That would be my bet. Sluggy is, well, still in this, but yeah, he still has a solid status as underdog. Unfortunately, as the longer it goes, the more a staircase is not going to give you all that much, especially when you're staircasing with the doggies. Sluggy is not staircasing anywhere special, anywhere soon. Yeah, there's nothing of great interest to be found in this area, sadly, for him. Eye Black is enchanting, getting some half diamond now. It's a solid little cave. Shadun mining more gold, so there's a chance he'll get more. He's in a mine shaft, so he won't have any trouble making it a superior bow. Though again, from here on out, the key to victory is actually going to be melee, and knowing how to expertly avoid a bow fight, at least against Pelargo, because Pelargo has so much healing. Bows will do nothing, even if it's a power 4, actually. Even a power 4 is going to be insufficient. So Shadun's, he's got a lot of apples. All he needs, really, is the gold. Winter Waffle is on the surface, and he's alone in this specific area. And they are intending maybe to find someone to kill. By the looks of it, yeah, that's the attempt. And they hope that, of course, it's not going to be Tiago. Of course, I think they're looking for someone to kill, and looking for someone not named Pelargo is the strategy, most likely. Daffz is in the nearby village, so... I think that's the same village we just saw from Winter Waffle's perspective. Yes, yes. So they're actually close by. Just far enough that they don't see each other yet, but close enough that they could stumble upon each other. Unfortunately, Daffz actually went in an off direction. Yeah. Sure did. And Long Journey, Long Journey was blown up by a creeper. There goes Serbia. That's it for Serbia. And the creeper is the criminal. But yeah, Winter Waffle in Daff's footsteps. I'm not sure where Daff's went from here. But they'll both be hanging around 0-0, and I think I think a confrontation is more or less inevitable in when it comes to them. Shadun has found a spawner. Ripper Steve is now in full diamond. Now keep in mind, he did the same thing last season, and this is how he managed to get, you know, basically... so far in the finals. He's going to need to go cut down a lot of trees because he needs apples before meetup. So I think he's gonna be heading up very soon. He has a diamond sharp 2, but it would make a sharp 3 diamond if he could. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what his plan is with the swords here. But he needs to go transform all that gold into healing. Otherwise, he's not investing his time as wisely as he could. Now, is it just me or JPEG is not enchanted? JPEG is not enchanted, and he has just come face to face with this witch. This witch is like, oh, I love you, JPEG Jesus. I love you. Don't you want to come and see me? And the answer was no, no, I am blocking you away forever. I do not want to see you. I want to see diamonds. That's what I want to see. And yeah, who have we not seen in a little while here? I think we've seen just about everyone, actually. Yeah. I haven't seen Fancy, actually, this episode, I think. On the surface, still out of healing? No, he's got 1 golden apple still. And Shadun finding more diamonds. So the threat of France still exists. I don't know how to topple Portugal at this point. I still figure that in general it revolves around. You can log off for a little while, I would say. So you know, this is the moment where you're going to get the elevator music on someone's perspective. Fancy has seen somebody? No. Chopping. Is Fancy trying to get apples in the savannah? How? That is very brave. That is very brave. But I think among the remaining players, most of them, except for Daffz and Winter Waffle perhaps, most of them are trying to cave to try and get some last minute gear before they head for meetup. Because I think most of the players who remain are intent on making it to meetup and settle their scores there. And so there's a lot of last minute caving or perhaps last minute tree chopping, that kind of stuff. But Daffz is hoping he can get some important loot off of people. Because of course he doesn't have any more diamonds to gain truly. He doesn't need any diamonds. He might need gold. He might do well to have some more gold, but I think he's really hoping he can find a foe to fell. Not sure it's going to be happening. Depends on where Winter Waffle is at now. 300 blocks away, walking around 0-0. I think Winter is looking for the kind of player that would be chopping trees at this moment. So they have all the good stuff, all the gear, but they're low on healing. Winter would probably be looking for a Ripper Steve type of person that has a lot of gear, but no healing yet, despite the fact they have a lot of gold. And I think that would be the ideal fight that Winter would be hoping for. Of course, Winter doesn't know it's specifically Ripper Steve. Ripper Steve, I think, has not surfaced yet. He's still like working on making his gear. But Ripper Steve is at a point truly where, aside from getting the levels, you can see all this gold here, and still more right here. Really, he's at a critical moment where he doesn't have enough healing to defend his diamonds, so to speak. So that actually makes him kind of vulnerable. Pelargo has decided to add wolves to the advantages he collects, and that is going to actually deter melee. I'm not sure that bringing the wolves to cave with him is actually the best idea, but Pelargo knows he has an extremely high advantage in terms of healing, and if he can have an army of wolves to deter melee, that's actually gonna really work to his advantage. So Pelargo now even using strategy to deter any opponent from trying to melee rush and negate the healing advantage by settling things with pure melee. Winter looking for trouble in the 0-0 adjacent area, not going straight up to 0-0 where Daffz awaits, but in the 0-0 adjacent area, looking for not quite as confident players. Players that might help him gear up. but players he'd have a decent chance of dispatching of. So that's the end of episode 5. Episode 6 is coming up next. Episode 6 is the penultimate episode right before meetup. So we're getting closer and closer to the wire. I'll see you in 2 days. See you then.
Sponsored by the Flouze crew on Patreon.